Hello, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about the next project for bolt action, which is the big red one. So stay tuned. Hello, and so I've recently got back into bolt action from a bit of time away where I was playing Black Powder, I started off just sort of knocking around with a few long range desert group figures that I'd had in the garage for a long time, and whilst I was waiting for a delivery to come for some more Jeeps, I decided to do a bit of research on the North African campaign and sort of the battles around Tunisia and in that sort of in Egypt and in Algiers, because a few years back I went to Tunisia and I went to a place called Al Jem, and it was quite interesting because lots of the US Army had carved their names and bits and pieces into the ancient ruins, sort of historical graffiti, if you like. And there was quite a few chads with what no wall and what no Germans and all sorts of bits and pieces there. So I found a few US Army guys that I'd had pretty much just sprayed green, and they were kicking around in a box. So I dug them out, and I thought I'd look at doing a mid-war US Army, because lots of people sort of tend to look at the European theatres, and I thought, well, let's sort of explore the mid-war campaigns and see what I can come up with. So I started sort of putting together a bit of a sort of a few models, and I sort of had a bit of a hunt round in the garage, because I remembered a few years back now, Warlord had a sprue sale, and I know that I picked up quite a few American US Army sprues, and I know that when they went over to the newer plastics or newer paratroops, lots of people on eBay were getting rid of their old US Army sprues, because they are fiddly, because you've got to put the two arms together and then match them with the correct rifle, and it's a bit of a headache, but I don't mind. I can sit down in the evening and just sort of work through the plans and put together the US Army. So this is the first thing that I've done. So these are Warlord Games, and they've been painted for mid-war, and I'm quite pleased with the way they've turned out. And if I need to use them for like at the European theatre, they could be just sort of just getting off the beach. I could use them for probably Italy with the sort of the desert bases. So we'll sort of see how it goes. But my plan is to paint up all the US Army that I've currently got, which is probably a good couple of platoons worth, and just sort of paint them for the big red one. I'm going to see if I can find some transfers to go on their arms. They've painted reasonably well. I went for a very straightforward colour scheme. It's literally paint, wash, dry brush, done. Base. I think the basing took longer than the actual figures to paint. So I've dug all those out, and I'm still feeling a bit burnt out for the 1/72 scale and Napoleonics. I'm enjoying the bolt action, and I think I'll stick with this for get this project done, and go from there. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you soon with an update on the US Army.